says here, so Delve is about to launch and Path Building has been updated. So we've been able to theory craft a little bit more on Caustic Arrow. Now, I'm most likely not going to end up playing this myself. I was planning to for a long time, but I've changed my mind. And yeah, it does, however, look very solid. So make sure you have Path of Building. I'll include a link below in the description of where to download it. It's a really useful program for planning builds and stuff like that. Don't start off the bandits, just kill everything, kill them all, get a skill point, 2 skill points. Pantheons is Stellaris, and then you take Shikari. They're really good, especially when you upgrade them. As always, in my skill trees, I've like included a point by point thing, so it's very easy to follow. CA is a little bit hard to do in the start, so you definitely want to start out with all the projectile nodes, bow damage, stuff like that. And then you can see that after that, we're rushing straight for Pierce. That's so you don't have to use the Pierce support time. It doesn't feel very good early on. It's definitely not a build that I would recommend staying. Like, when I'm leveling early on day 1, I'm usually between 3 and 5 levels under the zone. And that's fine on something like Sunder or Blade Vortex, but this is a little bit weaker. However, a nice thing about Caustic Arrow is that it is a lot like a spell. What that means is if you get one more level on the gem, you will really feel the difference. You can buy something like a Silver Branch really early on. That's amazing. Definitely use 1 or 2 chaos on that day 1 if you find some. That'll be really strong. And to put it into reference, a 4-link plus 2 bow is actually better than a 6-link up to level 17 or 18. At that level, a 6-link is better than a 4-link plus 2. But a 5-link plus 2 is better than a 6-link even at level 20. So this is not a build you necessarily need to stay in Blood Aqueduct and farm a Tabula. I would definitely recommend getting up to the Gardens map, farming the Porcupine card, and you can make yourself a really easy plus 2 bow there using an Essence of Dread. Later in the league there are ways to make plus 3 bows using Katarina. You cannot roll attack mods, use an Exalted Orb, and that will give you your plus 1. So it's a really nice build. Should be like, even though this is something a lot of people are going to be playing, but it should be relatively cheap. So very nice that you don't need to farm a Tabula as well. This lets you use a life chest, something like a belly, and save up for a combs is what I would do. There's not really 6-link setups that are super ideal. This later in the league, obviously I haven't had time to test much of this, but we can, like we've seen in videos from Ziggy, that the Agony Herald is really strong. So that could potentially be really fun to 6-link in your chest as well. So a setup that should be worth trying would be having greater multiple projectiles linked to barrage and poison and a life gain on hit. So then you throw down a caustic cloud, but obviously you don't really want to spam your caustic arrow, and this build is focusing on a dot setup. So that is very nice to just start barraging instead, and then that will give you virulence charges for your Herald of Agony. Another thing as well is you put a barrage on a totem with TMP and Withering Touch, and then that should work instead of a spell Wither totem. You can still try the Wither spell totem increased duration as well. That's another option. And then your standard blink arrow and stuff like that. So I'd say Caustic Arrow is fine for level 1. If you don't like it, it should be very easy to swap over to Rain of Arrows as well. And Val Rain of Arrows is very good too. So this is a Pathfinder, and it does have some cool stuff. If you don't like the Virulence charge stuff, then you could end up taking Master Alchemist instead. Obviously early on we're not going to be using a lot of unique flasks, so there's not a massive boost to being immune to ailments. And I'd say like there will be other nice Caustic Arrow builds, like Occultist and Trickster, even Deadeye will also be really good. Something that's really nice about doing Pathfinder, especially if you want to start doing really deep delving, is the fact that you can very easily transition into Righteous Fire, which was my plan, or going into a Xerfes build. And these are really nice things for getting really deep into the delves. You can see the final tree here, and everything is like very easy to follow. Have an item set here for day 1 and day like end game. Like combs, venomous weave can be very hard, expensive to get. Presents, plus 3 bow, stuff like that. There's you also could use the Witchfire Brew if you don't like get that from, for example, an Impressence. The Witchfire Brew will be a very, very big damage boost. But yeah, that is like the main thing for this build. Obviously, it's not something that's out yet. It's not something we've been properly able to try. Hopefully this helps. And for those of you wondering, the exceptional performance is skill durations, just so you don't have to put down the cloud as much as possible. So yeah, this should be really strong, and hopefully it helps you guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, come by on twitch.tv/Lizerin. And guys, ride or die, less than I do.